Now, I do apologize. I still feel a little sick, but I am getting better. Hopefully, my voice doesn't sound so grouchy or anything, or I sound a little strange. At least you know why. But besides that, today I want to talk about the Black Knight Project. If you don't know what it is, or don't know what's going on in the cartoon community, that Genndy, he sort of dropped a sort of clip called the Black Knight that he and many others did report several years ago that he is working on this specific project on Sony. Then he posted a couple of days ago saying he was sort of working on the Black Knight for almost 6 years, but technically Sony wasn't sure this is meant for the theaters or not, or we make money of it. They sort of paused it, but it being so long they actually paused it, so he decided to risk it all and show this project, talk about it, show you a clip to make some noise to how people react. If they do react and if they do like it, maybe give enough noise that Sony decided to at least greenlit it to make the movie, or at least a low budget of it, in other words. Because you have to understand, making an animated project, there is sort of a range how much money you can spend. You could easily a decent made adult or action made animated movie, you could spend around maybe $35 million if you know what you're doing, or not just you know what you're doing, is what you think you're doing. You have the idea automatically, direction, you have everything done. That's all you need. And sometimes you don't. This is the reason why animated projects sort of have a lot of money, because a lot of testing again to correct it, because this is the reason why they have over 100 or 200 billion dollars project, because they keep redoing the animatic again and again. Of course, if you don't know what that means, what is an animatic? Animatic is sort of undone sort of animation. You just see the character design without no color, no music, no nothing. You just probably hear the voice acting and what it looks like, how it moves. And you could basically make some sounds to understand the direction of the project. If you don't like the project, you do another animatic. So many that it probably be like about 30 to 40. Like a good chunk of it goes to the animatics, just to show you what you think. When you finally watch it, you have to refix it again, because the pacing, the character is too annoying, a little things here or there. This is the reason why they give a lot of money. But actually, you just need about maybe 35 billion. But even that, you have to know what you want, how to do it before you actually give the money. This is the reason why it's sort of very risky to Sony to actually make that specific project. But ironically, Disgusty Films actually picked this news up and posted it on Twitter/X, and it actually blew up. All the cartoon fanatics are going crazy about that. Some of them don't really realize this project was announced till a couple days ago, and people are just kind of pissed off, angry, upset, like, wait, so we can have this and Sony don't want to give it to us? No, I need to stop right here. I have to basically promote myself. I do apologize. My name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation through reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, or sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If you do, thank you. If you don't, that's okay. But thanks to you, I am getting to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. Now I got nothing else to say, just let's continue of this sort of conversation. And something is interesting, because if you see the project or the clip of the Black Knight, if YouTube allows me, because I don't know would be taken down or force me to remove it. If you see the footage, that means YouTube allows me. But other than that, the whole project, how Genndy sort of responded, is basically a armor person who is inside the armor, but the twist is it's someone moving the armor with basically rope. This person could be very short, but the fact he described it like the armor is about, you need like about rope size, like 14 feet, about 14 and 15 feet top of rope around the whole mechanism of the giant sort of suit. So this person pulls and pull to whatever position they actually need to do. And you see the action scene of this sort of clip, you'll be amazed and blow how this giant armor works, because it kind of feels kind of redundant. It feels something out of the anime, but yet it works so well, especially the fight scene with this female ninja who attacked him to take him down, but yet we don't know. Genndy post doesn't explain as much because he does not want to spoil it, but yet the idea of someone's very small, probably moving around this armor, moving like a giant tank, it is a very interesting twist of a sort of kind of old cliche. Because let's face it, some of you probably not seen enough animation to see what a cliche looks like, and this Black Knight is one of the biggest cliches. For example, this idea appears from Danny Fandom and also another project called Fairy After, if I remember the name. Both of them do show giant people with giant armor with small person maneuvering this giant armor. But I think this is the first time they use a giant armor, sort of a probably a 1800s or 1500s sort of setting, fighting other people, but yet we don't know why this armor is moving. What was the reason why this person decided to use this armor? And that itself is intriguing because the clip have you asking so many questions. How they introduced this idea is so fascinating. Why someone use this armor and fight for it? Like if this person is a girl or guy, or this person is disabled, we just don't know. You finding even fascinating. Maybe this person is not even a person, could be just a normal animal, learn how to talk. He realized he had to defend himself and decide to create this sort of giant mech. And that could be easily weird, fascinating, but also very creative. This is a lot of fans pointing out this is the reason why they love Genndy. He is the only one who has the balls to try something different, because if you work in the industry, you always have to force to be what the higher ups ask you. If you have a very creative idea, they ask you to change it because it's not the thing they're looking for. Even that they give you gold, you are automatically give the next Simpsons, the Full Metal Alchemist, and they keep rejecting this. Not what we look for. That's not what people want. Even that they also could be wrong, but you have to play the game for a little while to get what you want and how to do it, because it's sort of rules and boundaries you have to basically do. But other than that, the fans are just going crazy because let's face it, this simple clip was creative, fun, interesting, and also has a lot of questions that you just want to answer. And I think this is the reason why it blew up so much. Even that some people are pointing out it's the same guy who did Fix. People are super surprised because it's Genndy. Genndy does not care. Genndy does what he wants. Even that they say no to him, the guy is so stubborn and keep going on to hopefully push this idea later on to actually get something done. Because at the very end, the only way you do something, you have to keep pushing, keep repeating, keep acting, keep showing, or in this case, leak all the projects online, because this simple act, Genndy could get fired. Like, yeah, that's sort of ballsy, but yet they chose not to, and that's sort of surprising. And hoping he doesn't get fired, let's be real, because it's very ballsy to do that, because usually you can't trust you while you keep leaking our stuff. There could be a lot of legal issues. Hopefully not. Hopefully they suddenly realize they don't want to fire Genndy, because Genndy is very valuable and very talented. He's also the guy who knows very talented people to help him do the project what Sony wants. But at the same time, fans are sort of complaining, so you give up a Kickback Demon Hunter to Netflix. Why not give him this to Netflix? Because it feels probably could be the right idea, and I do agree. I also agree why Sony doesn't want to make this movie. Like, they want to, but one of the biggest problems to make a animated movie is the fact if it's any people want to see it. The obvious is, but the only problem is You don't know the same people who watch this clip will watch a movie. You spent $35 billion, but doesn't mean you will get exactly $35 billion. Sometimes you get less, 15 and 20, and that's sort of the issue. And I feel Sony does have sort of a method to make this successful if they're willing to do it like the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. First, do it a adult animated movie or action film. Just let it low budget, low stakes, making fun and interesting. Put it in the theaters 2 months, and if it wasn't successful, give it to Netflix to see the results and make a sequel to see if people were willing to go to see the movie. That is sort of the formula that kind of works for them, but yet they choose not to. And I feel like you have to lose something to gain something back. And I feel that Sony has always been a little bit incompetent or a little bit unsure because it's how business works. You don't know if successful or not. You don't know this is the one who make billions or not. You have to do sort of a very weird experiment because let's face it, Sony is the edge of animation right now. They're the one who basically setting the standard, but they overthink it or not sure because you don't know this to be a failure, success, or a long shot. And it is true. So I don't blame them. Also why I want them to make it, but give it to basically Netflix because they do have a contract with them. They actually have sort of like almost 10-year contract. I don't know if that 10 years is sort of maybe 2-3 years left after the contract ends, but everything they make they give to Netflix after they put in the theaters, put on rental fee, and sell the digital. They give it to Netflix. But I hope they do that. I hope try this, but give it a low budget, let Genndy do his thing, and hopefully it will semi successful and give to Netflix. It was successful on Netflix. That means they can risk a little bit more and have more confidence because the sequel could be triple the money they lost in the first one. But yet you don't know. It's one of those that's very risky, very out there. You don't know anyone who care about it. And people do care, but you have to rare this is sort of the issue. But other than that, I have a lot of I want this now. It's not just me. A lot of people want this. People are just memeing that. Please give us this. And I don't blame them, but it's sort of how it works. Who knows? Maybe this simple leakage will give enough confidence to make it. I don't know you. How you felt about this? You feel this is interesting or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.